I want to welcome all of you on YouTube to my 11th, next to the final rant on the school system. Now, as you know, we've had a very long journey, but I'm going to save all those details for the last part. So today's rant on 3/26/09 is going to be about how in elementary schools, but this is a problem that you don't have to worry about in middle and high school, or college, of course, unless there's underdeveloped brains in that era. The recess time, the constantly decreased recess time across the states of the United States of the great America. So, take this, America, when you hear this. Imagine this. This is true. A school that always, in its previous years, had about half hour, 45 minutes of free time in the middle of the day. The next year, they wanted to cut down on that about 10 minutes or so because kids wasn't getting enough time to to get their schoolwork finished. So they cut that down about 10 minutes, so it gave them about 35 minutes. That lasted all year until the last day. They didn't have no recess at all because they said they needed to have work done, but that was a lie. You know, on the last day of school in all elementaries, they always do the cleaning up, they get the classroom cleaned. It's a free, fun day. Okay. Well, they took all the recess away just because they had to do that. So, the next year, they cut it down another 5 minutes. So, we're down to 30 minutes here. Kids are wondering, why is this seemingly going down? Well, this is because this all leads back to the Board of Education. This is their idea. This isn't the teacher's fault. This is their idea. They get the idea, they pass it, they go to the principal, they relay message to all principals to relay to the teachers to enforce it. Trust me, I know how all this stuff works. So, then the kids next year, they notice it's decreased to about 20 minutes. Well, they know they can't take it all away because, these underdeveloped people is trying to move on to either be, this is their two choices. This is have 2 Lamborghinis, or you have a box for a car like the Flintstones. That's their two choices, and everything in between. So that is why they're cutting this down, but there's a downside to all of this. It's called stress, people. If you ever heard of it, you know what I'm talking about. And I was exaggerating there, but it's true. If there's no free time during the day, if there's no time to relax the learning process and quit thinking about it for a little while to bring the energy levels back up, they're not going to learn near as much. So, I'm not saying it's against the law, but it's a mistake. Every other rant, some rules they do are against the state's policy or law, whichever one, they're the same thing. Okay, so my whole point here is, if nobody is going to be taking action about this, it's going to get down to maybe 5 minutes of free time every day. Now, middle schools haven't really had a problem with that. The only way they wouldn't get free time after lunch is if one kid does something wrong. And I've already, excuse me again, I've already discussed this in my previous rant. I forget which one it was, but how the whole school or class gets in trouble because of 1 or 2 people. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I've ranted about that before. Send me messages or something if you don't agree with that, and we can get that sorted out for you guys. I'm trying to get my voice made here, and as you know, news spreads fastly on topics, depending on who gets their little hands on the video. They can make bad things about it, they can make good things about it. They may not say anything at all. But I'm trying to get a point across in these last 30 seconds. We gotta stop the decrease in all this. This isn't just for one state. I'm talking about the whole great country. So, please be with me here. Give me messages. And I hope you enjoyed this. And I will be back on the 31st with a new one. Thank you. Goodbye.